Greetings, everyone. The first chapter of the new driver's handbook is called The Problem with Traffic Accidents. And it starts with this: The problem with traffic accidents. More than 3,000 people die each day around the world as a result of traffic accidents. Traffic accidents represent the primary cause of death for young people. Due to this, international organizations like World Health Organization classify the situation of traffic accidents as a worldwide public health priority. In Chile, as in the rest of the world, traffic accidents represent one of the main causes of death, especially among people between 15 and 29 years old, and for whom accidents represent the second cause of death after suicide. The general population is not aware of the importance of the problem of traffic accidents around the world, nor is it possible to quantify the number of people who, as a result of a traffic accident, are permanently disabled and nonetheless show up in the statistics just as an injured person. In addition, it is difficult to assign a numerical value to the suffering associated with losing a loved one. Studies shows that for each death, an average of 100 people among relatives and friends are affected. In addition to the loss of human life, traffic accidents also create an enormous economic impact, which is directly or indirectly assumed by all citizens. It is estimated that in Chile the cost of traffic accidents represents 2% of GDP, according to data from WHO. If this money were invested in education, living conditions, health, or social programs, imagine the benefit that would represent for our society. If you do the math, each citizen pays on average a little more than 6 million pesos annually, only taking into consideration the calculation costs of traffic accidents. Have you ever considered that if a driver doesn't wear a seatbelt, for example, a helmet for the bike drivers, or drives while intoxicated, that is not just a personal decision? That's the question. If that driver, and this is the answer, if that driver is in an accident, it affects everyone because of the behavior, no? Since we all pay directly or indirectly for his decision. This following table enumerates the main cost of the accidents. It is important to remember that not all accidents can be assigned to a monetary cost because we have different types of costs, like material costs, for example, damage to vehicles under cargo, damage to public property, damage to private property, damage to the environment as well. And also health costs, like first aid, ambulance fees, medical treatment for wounds and injuries, and rehabilitation. Some administrative costs, like police and firefighters, insurance administration, legal costs as well for judges and lawyers, and the human costs that are not in the monetary costs, like loss of productivity during treatment, loss of future productivity, and physical and psychological injuries, not only for you, but for your friends and relatives as well. So they say here that the accidents are avoidable. It is confirmed that calling traffic accidents by its very same name, like accidents, is not right. Accident is defined as a sudden event that is not planned or intended and causes damage or injury, and is associated with being unpredictable conditions around you, like from luck or unlucky events. However, traffic accidents are rarely random or unpredictable and can be avoided. There is information about where, when, and why road crashes occur. If traffic accidents were really accidental, how could we explain why they increase when it rains? Why are there so many deaths caused by traffic accidents during the night when we are fewer cars on the road? Why do people who have been drinking cause more accidents? If a traffic accident were a sudden, unintended event, the probability of getting in a crash would depend only on the amount of time a person spends behind the wheel. The majority of deaths caused by traffic accidents are avoidable. In order to reduce the possibility of getting in a traffic accident, you must avoid risk factors detailed throughout this text. Accident statistics in Chile. Annually in Chile, more than 86,000 accidents are recorded. As a consequence, approximately 1,600 people die, which means that each day between 4 and 5 people die on the road. On average, 550 of these deaths are involving pedestrians. The probability that a pedestrian dies as a result of being hit by a car increases 8 times when the speed of the vehicle increases from 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. Pedestrians have a 90% chance of surviving an impact at 30 kilometers per hour or slower, but less than a 50% chance of survival for a crash at 45 kilometers per hour or more. This means that at the speed of 65 kilometers per hour, the most probable outcome of a crash involving a pedestrian will result in the loss of the pedestrian's life. Also, over the last 5 years, on average, 8,000 people are seriously injured in more than 86,000 accidents. The majority of deaths caused by traffic accidents occur on interurban roads, not urban zones. That is different statistic than you can see here in the graphics. Although the majority of deaths caused by traffic accidents occur on motorways and highways outside of urban areas, the majority of accidents, around 85% of them, occur on roadways in urban areas. Of these, the majority occur in intersections. Only 15% of accidents occur in rural, non-urban areas. The majority of injuries also occur on urban roadways, over 40,000 on average annually. However, these are generally less severe than injuries produced in freeway crashes. Long weekends make up the period of most frequent accidents. The most dangerous days are weekends, normal weekends or long weekends, especially long weekends, while the most dangerous time of day is during nighttime and the early hours of the morning. And these, in general, coincide with situations of lower traffic flow. The age group with the highest accident rate is young people between 18 and 29 years old. This group represents approximately 27% of all driver deaths in traffic accidents in the past years. Here you can see a table in which it shows the age range and the driver's death percentage of each age range. For example, in between 0 and 17 years old, the driver's death percentage is just 2%. But when it's about 18 and 29 years old, it comes up to 27%. That means that very young drivers has the more death rate of accidents in the history. Finally, is it important to add that close to 92% of driver deaths due to traffic accidents are males, and that human error is present in over 90 of them. Consuming alcohol while driving and disobeying road signs are two of the most common factors causing traffic accidents. That is the end of the first topic of the new driver's handbook, the problem with traffic accidents. And now we continue to the second chapter.